I hope nothing else is keeping us from... Is that getting dirty? Let me see. Oh, there's a little... bit on there. And there's some more. All right. Let's see what's happening. Are you looking at me? Here we go.
Are you just trying to navigate adulthood in a world that still expects you to have it all figured out? Welcome to This is 50 with your host, Travis Holmes.
I don't know how much confidence I have in my new dentist. If you're new to This is 50, welcome. We appreciate each and every one of you for listening to us. Just a little background for all our new listeners out there, and there's a bunch of them. I'll get into that story here in a minute. This is 50 was started about 3 years ago. Coming up on 4 now. I realized that this is my mental health show, and I realized that when I turned 50, people started talking to me different. I started noticing things that were a little different. That I'm like going, why isn't anyone seeing this? Why am I not doing this type stuff? Your whole attitude and everything changes, from your 20s and 30s when you hit 50. And for whatever reason, at 50, you just go, all right, this is it. This is the final countdown. You've got what? Average white male has, lives to 75. So I got like 25 years left on this planet. They even said that, being a child cuts off at 9, being an adolescent. There was a study that went all the way, said that not until 32 and then 33, because of Jesus's age, you are an adult. And then when you hit 68, you're into early aging. And then when you hit 78, you're in like late aging, if you can make it that far, which is weird. But anyway, so welcome to This 50. It's my mental health show. I do it strictly for me. I don't do it for the likes, the clicks, the fun, the fanatic, the fanfare, or anything like that. I do this strictly for me. And if anyone out there enjoys this, because you do, I see you out there. We appreciate you guys following along during my story. So I went to see my dentist. We have a new dentist. I say we have a new dentist. My wife's been going to him for a long time. A little background story. We broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. And we're in a small little town called Marshville. And we used to live in the Charlotte area. And we had a dentist in the Charlotte area that our insurance covered, but not 100% a lot of stuff that was being done. Fancy neighborhood, All the doctors drive Beamers with Humvees on top, that type of stuff. I mean, every car in the parking lot is well over $100,000. Customers and employees, even the lady working at the front desk, she's got a $100,000 Mercedes or something out there. Then we moved to Marshville, and let's just say the dentists around here, well, if you don't have all 32 teeth, that's okay. They'll deal with it. They'll make the 16 that you have the best 16 you'll ever have. So, ironically enough, when I walked in there and they got all my x-rays from the fancy dentist, I was an anomaly to him. And the guy's young. I mean, he's younger than I am. He said he's got 4 kids, and the oldest one just turned 10. So if he's 45, maybe, I don't know, kids and math. So maybe he's 40, mid-40s, okay? But something he said to me the other day, and I'll dive a little bit more in his story a little bit later, but something he said to me kind of made me go, did I make the choice? Did I make the right choice to leave my dentist in the Charlotte area where it's an hour drive from my house to get to that dentist, and all the fancy, passing by all the Mercedes and Maseratis and stuff to get to this dentist, to switch to this dentist in our little podunk town of 2,500 people. And, I have to pass a semi-truck, a truck carrying chickens, hauling manure to get to this dentist. Did I make the right choice because of the short drive? Because he's literally right up the road from us. And I say right up the road. There's nothing right up the road from us other than the next road. So it's a good, 10, 15-minute drive from our house to get to this dentist. I wonder if I made the right choice. So we'll talk about that here in a little bit. I was walking through the Walmart parking lot today because you guys know it's Friday. We broadcast every Friday at 3 p.m. I'm just going to say 3 p.m. I try to make it 2 o'clock, and the powers that be just don't let me get to 2 o'clock. Something happens like on this episode, the fucking cameras were messing up. I'm sorry. I cuss. It's a podcast. Get over it. And so here we are, 3 o'clock, starting on a Friday. And as I'm walking out of the Walmart, and it wasn't too bad. This is the week before Christmas. And all through the parking lot, not a creature was bumming. Not even a louse. I'm walking. I park in the very, very back side of the far, far, far away that I can in my Chevy Silverado 2500 series. I don't want anyone touching my shit, even though it's a dirty mess out there. I don't want anyone touching my truck. So as I'm walking out there, I've got my shopping cart full of stuff, and this girl, probably maybe 40, 41 years old, short and stocky. Do you know what I mean by stocky? Like she's got tits out to here. She's like 5'1". She's got tits out to here and an ass to match in the backside. She's a white girl, country white girl, but she's like 5'1". So she's like this, like the Michelin Man type deal. Now, she wasn't unattractive. She wasn't disgusting or anything like that. To normal everyday standards, she was fine. She was just a person, female. Very judgmental, Travis. Very judgmental. What was that on the side of my nose? Was there anything? No. I gave her space because, a full-size man such as myself, full size. I'm not a little snack bite. I'm 6'2". I'm 200 and, however many pounds. I don't know. I don't weigh myself. So, I run every day. So I want her to feel comfortable walking to her vehicle. So I'm on one side of the aisle drive path and she's on the other side. And I got to make this commitment. I got to take my cart across the drive lane to get to my vehicle, which is on her side of where she's walking. So as I'm walking, she kind of turns around, to check, which I don't blame her. I'm probably 15 feet behind her. My, shopping cart's rattling and all the bottles are clink, 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 clink. And I go, I'm just, hi, how you doing? Not that I'm going to murder you in the back of this parking lot. And then she does another double take and looks at me, and then she stops. And I go, okay, here we go. She's going to rob me. She's not going to rob me. I'm like going, all right, what? I can't imagine what's going to come next. She goes, excuse me, do you have a pocket knife on you? And I said, no, what are you trying to do? Well, and I can see the whole entire time she's walking, she's been fumbling around with this package, this blister pack. If you've been in retail or any kind of retail outlet stores, you know what a blister pack is. It's basically a piece of cardboard and they glue the fucking plastic right to it and they hermetically seal it, and you can't, to keep the whatever item inside that thing so it doesn't fall out and get stolen or whatever. She's like, I bought this charger cord and I need to get into it. I said, hold on one second. I said, let me get out of the traffic lane here. And I pushed my shopping cart up. And I said, well, let me have it. She's like, hold on one sec. And she's ripping the top. She's like, I think I got it. And she's ripping it. She's like, I got it. Thank you. Never mind. I said, yeah, that's basically what I was going to do. I said, good luck. Talk to you later. Feliz Navidad, whatever. And she gets in her truck and she gets in this big, huge Ford dually. I mean, fucking, she fires up diesel. She's got to let it sit for a half hour because it's cold out before she pulls off. And I can see her still fumbling around in the thing. And she spins around and sees where I'm at. And I'm maybe 4 or 5 cars over from her, and I'm putting my groceries in. And I get in the car or get in the truck, and I'm texting my wife, hey, I'm getting ready to do this, blah, blah, blah. And I sat there for a minute, and I go, I have never been asked asked in my whole entire life if I had a pocket knife on me. Now, growing up, I've seen older men have pocket knives like on their, or some kind of a buck knife or something like that, or case knife, if you want to support my family and stuff so I can retire, on their belt, on the belt loop, in a sheath, a folding knife of some sort. I never understood the attraction of having a knife on you. It's not for protection, is it? Maybe everyone's just waiting for that one instance where where a woman comes up to you and go, "Excuse me, do you have a pocket knife?" "Oh, ma'am, I do. You might want to step back. It's going to take three arm lengths away from me, babe, so I can get this knife out. I don't want you to get hurt, darling." You flip the knife open, or the cool guys will open up halfway, and then if you're watching this on a YouTube video, they'll flip it, and go click. "What can I do for you, honey?" And he's picking his teeth with it, like in the movies. I've never had the urgency to have a pocket knife. I've never had a reason to have a pocket knife. I've never had the desire to walk. Am I supposed to? When you turn 50 years old and you live in this town of ours called Marshville, wasn't I supposed to get one in the mail or something when I moved in? "Here you go, Mr. Holmes. Here's the deed to your house. Thank you very much for purchasing the property that you live on. And here's your commemorative Marshville pocket knife." It's mandatory. You carry this around at all given times. So I've never had anyone ask me for a goddamn pocket. It was just weird. Because if I would look at, and the reason why I say it's weird, let me explain a little bit more, and I'll take a little break and we'll reset all the topics and everything. If I was 30 years old and she asked me if I had a knife on me, that would be weird. If I was 20 and she asked me if I had a pocket knife on me, that would be weird. 40? Maybe. Maybe she'll ask for a box cut or something. I don't know. 50? Fine. Plain. Everyday activity. "You got a pocket knife on you? How old are you?" 50. 52, actually. "Oh, you got a pocket knife on you, don't you?" "No, I don't." "You don't?" "No, I don't." Oh, well. All right, when we come back, Christmas is coming up, and I went to, I like Facebook, by the way, our little Facebook neighborhood, the little group that we have going on. I make fun of the neighborhood, but I'm from Orlando and come to a little small town like this. I have to make fun of what I can. And this guy posts stuff all the time. He's got a little fish and chips. I'm sorry, not fish and chips. I misspoke on that. He's got a seafood house where he sells, like, like you're going to Publix and it's all in the rack, all in the casings and stuff. And he sells seafood. And I went there the other day, and I'll tell you what happened. So stick around. I'll be right back. I know that last segment ran a little long, but I keep looking at do I have something? No, it's just bad lighting, I guess. I don't know. Don't forget, for every show we do, we have a matching video over on YouTube. Search at This Is 50 Show. There's another guy out there, rap guy. Stole my thunder, but anyways, I'm kind of in a tailspin here because we're getting ready to go. I feel like I'm against the clock here. Normally on Friday night, my wife and I, we sit around, we play cards. She gets off work at 6 o'clock. She's working from home. She has the luxury of doing that 3 days a week. She's working from home. She wraps up at 6 o'clock. We go down and feed the horses and stuff, and then we come back and we make dinner and we play cards all night long. Tonight we're going to a Christmas party. We have the company Christmas party for everyone. So we're going over to, oh, damn, I love you, mean it. We're going over to his house, hang out with them for a little bit. Should be fun. Be like 20, 25 people over there. So I'm kind of like rushing to get this in under the wire because I think we're supposed to leave at 6 o'clock and it's 3 o'clock now. So we'll see. So I don't want to say I threw this show together, but I want you to understand that I got that one little thing in the back of my mind I'm thinking about. Normally, throughout the week, when I'm working on the other shows that I do, I'm in the studio. It's all me. I'm in the studio all day long. I'm still running 4 miles Monday through Friday. Come home, do my stuff, and then I sit down and edit and do all my stuff, and have a drink or two. 6 o'clock is my cutoff time. 6 o'clock, boom, Cutoff time, no matter where I'm at, if I've had 20, if I've had 2 or 22, it's my cutoff. That's 6 o'clock. Boom, I'm done. Friday's always different. Problem is, the party starts at 6, so I'm like, oh, God, I got to do the show and go to this party? Oh, I should be a treat by then. As I'm walking around, it's Christmas time, and I'm walking around the different outlet stores and stuff. I go, ooh, you know what I want to go? I want to go to Big Lots. You familiar with Big Lots? Kind of a discounted leftover crap store, but they got some cool things in there. If you've never been to Big Lots and gone into their snack food aisle, they have every snack food that has ever failed in the normal market. And what I mean by that is there is such a variety of different snack foods that are on their shelves, like jalapeno pickled chocolate sunburst, or just these weird flavors that you'll never find anywhere else on the planet, that someone thought it was a good idea in the corporate office. You go over to Big Lots, those are all the failed ideas of snack foods and everything like that. So I was like, well, I need to get some stocking stuffer, so I'll go over to Big Lots. Well, the Big Lots up here, I didn't know this, shut down. So I'm like, well, what the fuck am I going to do? What am I going to do for stocking stuffers? Now, when I say stocking stuffers, it's just my wife and my dad. I don't buy for anyone else, but it's just kind of neat to have these little candies and little tchotchke things and stuff. So I told my wife, she's like, what? I said, yeah, they shut down. Well, you can go, another 30 miles down the road. I'm like, babe, I'm not driving 30 miles to go to a discount store. I'll just discount it and say, tough shit, we're not getting stocking stuffers. Well, isn't there a TJ Maxx and a Ross in that same outlet? I said, yeah, they're still here. They're still up and running. For whatever reason, Big Lots has shut all their doors and everything. God, I can't stand my fucking hair, by the way. It's like a perm. I said, I'm here. I might as well go in there and look around. So I go into TJ Maxx. Have you ever been to TJ Maxx? I have not been in there since my early 20s. And I remember TJ Maxx at one time had, well, maybe it was Marshall's. Now they're all in the same family, right? TJ Maxx, Marshalls, all that. So I'm like, all right, well, how bad can TJ Maxx be? Well, let me tell you how bad they are. There goes that sponsor right out the window. I walked in there, and they had banquet tables, like folding banquet tables, just set up randomly in between all like the clothing aisles and stuff, with just shit thrown on them. Just, here's all the toys that we could figure out that the company would allow us to buy. Here's all every style and measurement of back massagers and foot massagers and hand massagers and all the stuff. And here's all the cell phone crap. And it's just all on one table. It's all stacked up nice and neat. I say nice and neat, but I'll tell you what, I'm walking around. I'm like going, I felt uncomfortable. Anxiety's kicking in. I'm like going, these people, and they're diving in like it's fucking, what is that? What's the fucking like it's ambrosia. They're diving into it. I'm like, no, I'm not going to TJ. I'm not, nope. So I walked right back out the door. I was in there for like 30 minutes, walked back out. And then I walk into Ross, which is right next door. It's like going, I don't want a burger from Burger King. I'll walk right next door and get one from McDonald's. It's the same crap. It's just how they package it, right? So I walk in the Ross. Right away, I go, ooh, this is the lower end of the two stores, because the clientele are a little bit slower and a little bit more hunched over and a little bit more longer gray witch hair. There, I was just like, ooh, all right, well, maybe I'll find something here. Same scenario, banquet tables and push carts. Where it's got like, you would do like bread if you had a bakery and there's like 18 shelves on it and they just push these carts out there and they just got random shit on there at any time. Like there's a Tootsie Roll piggy bank with a alarm clock that's shaped like a teddy bear. It's just all this crazy, stupid shit on these carts. And what I realized when I'm walking around these stores, both of them, TJ Maxx and Ross, there's not one item that had more than one item. Let me explain. If you needed 6 of the exact same thing for 6 kids in your family, And you want to know, they all had to be the same color because you know they're all going to fight over it, right? No. Everything's onesie twosie here, onesie twosie there. Oh, maybe onesie twosie over here. It's like that game when you play with cards. You try to, was it memory? You flip the two of whatever it is, the two of this over, two of what you ever played the card game memory? You flip this one over, it's a fish. You flip this one over, it's a hammer. You're like, oh shit. Someone flips over a hammer the next turn, and you're like, oh, where's that other hammer at? Oh, it's way over here. You flip that. Now I got a set. That's the way Ross is set up. There's just shit all over the place. And the candles, Jesus Christ. You find one candle. Oh, this one's really good. Where'd you get it? TJ Maxx. Where'd you get it? Ross. Oh, I'm going to go there and find one. And you're like, never going to find this candle anywhere because they've only got fucking one of this fucking candle. Well, they got other candles. Oh, yeah, they got other candles. But you find a flavor that you like, stick to it. Get on with it. And as I'm walking through the final moments of my Ross shopping experience, these two old ladies, and I say old ladies, they're just, huh? Ethel, Matt, where are you? I'm over here. You see my crippled creeper hand waving over the the baker's tray of junk? Yes, okay, I'll be right there. And I'm standing there, and I'm just being as calm as I possibly can. Breathe in, breathe out, relax. I don't know what triggered me when these two ladies came by me, but I snapped. And they came by me, and they said, well, they didn't say anything to me yet, but I could hear the conversation as they're, hobbling up to the registers. Oh, I think I'm ready to go. Okay, where do you want to eat? Oh, I don't know. I'm not from this side of town. Where do you want to eat? Well, I'd like to eat somewhere. And before she could get, I'd like to eat somewhere, her friend spun around and goes, you live around here? To me. She didn't ask for a pocket knife or anything. I said, no. Oh, well. We're just looking, and they're walking by me and explaining what they're trying to do. We just want somewhere to eat around here. We're not from here. Her friend goes, we're looking for an Outback. I go, Outback? You ain't going to find an Outback in this side of town, honey. You might find something else. Ain't no Outback don't come down here, girls. You're gonna have to go to the next town over. You ain't from around here, are you? Well, either am I either. So I went to this fish market. Where are we at on time? I always forget what time. How am I running here on time? All right, let me take a little break. Gather my thoughts, and I'll tell you about the fish market. And I don't know if this is par for the course, but anyways, so stick around. I'll be right back. I'll get to the dentist, what he said to me here in a minute. I'm just trying to set up the whole scene as far as the area and the people that I deal with, and everything will make sense towards the end. Believe me. Because he was like, holy Jesus Christ, all right, I got it. There's a new quote-unquote nightclub, bar, restaurant, something that opened up in downtown, the next town over in Monroe. And I'm coming up into my slow season here, doing all the podcasts. I do a Monday show, a Wednesday show, and a Friday show. The other one I do once a month. So I got some time to kill. So I was like, you know what? I'll just throw in my application over there. And see if they need any help. Because they post on Facebook, our Facebook page in Marshville, come join our team. And I've been looking, idle hands. I've been looking for something to do, just part-time, just, slinging suds or, taking an order or two, just something to get me out of the fucking house. I mean, I'm literally sitting here 6 days a week. I mean, there's a reason why I run 4 miles just to get out of the house and clear my mind and stuff. So, not that I need the money, I just need something to do. And I was like, well, I'd enjoy doing that. So I applied. Jason, send me your email at jason@whatever.com or Gmail and So I sent over my resume, and basically I said, look, I waited tables in my 20s for about 30 days, and that's about it. But this is what I bring to the table. I haven't heard back from him, but who knows? He probably has a full staff already. But my wife and I, when it was before my dad moved in coming up on 4 years now, after my mom passed away. My dad moved in. I offered. He accepted, so he's moved in with us. But before that, my wife and I, Christmas was just me and her. And because it was just me and her and I, whatever the correct King's English is on that, we always had the top best filet mignon. We'd go out to Ballantyne, which the name itself sounds fancy. We'd go to the meat market in Ballantyne and buy not the top choice filet. We'd get the chef's choice. I forget. There's two different grade levels of filet mignon. This is before Wagyu was available to everyone now. And we get, an 8 to 12 ounce lobster tail. And that was our Christmas dinner. We spent a little bit of money. And between the lobster tails and the filet mignon, each plate costs about $75 for us to make. And this is us making it. The medallion, we get a good, 10 ounce medallion. That's like $45. Lobster tail, anywhere from $20 to $22. So you can do the math on that. Now, my dad's here. Of course, we're not going to shell out that kind of money. No way. So we get a standing rib roast. If you don't know what that is, basically it's a ribeye steak with the bone on it before it gets all sliced up to be ribeye steak. And Publix usually has them for $8.99 or $6.99 a pound, and we get them. They're really good. We like them. We cook them up for Christmas now. And then my wife goes, do you want lobster tails? I go, well, the ones we got last year, they were small. And I was like, I don't know. But this guy's been posting on Facebook. Brothers, I'm going to give him a shout out. Brothers Fish Market. And they're in the Waxhaw area. And every time he posts stuff on there, I'm like, oh, man, it looks so good. He's always got blue crabs. He's always got, oysters and mussels and shrimp, and everything looks fresh. Every time he posts something, and it looks fresh. And I met him one time by happenstance, and he was getting like bags of ice out of one of those big machines that are on the side of the road, and I was getting a bag of ice just for me. And he's like, go ahead, man, I gotta get like 16 bags and stuff. And he's like, yeah, my name's Jay. And I'm like, going, Jay? I said, you're the guy who owns Brawley. He's like, yeah, man, come out and see me and blah blah blah. I said, okay. So I told my wife, I said, I'm going to drive around. I'm going to go to Brothers, Jay's place, and see if they got lobster tails over there, just to see how much they are. Because he never put prices on anything when he posts on Facebook, because it's market value. I understand that. So I'm like, all right, I'm driving. And it is a drive for me. It's out of my way. So I went out of my way. I said, well, I can go here and I can go here, and I cut across here and see Jay and then head on about my day. So I pull up. Lights are on and everything, and, neon signs and fish market. I get up there and I look at the door, and he's got, the open sign's not on. Now, this is 11:30 mid-morning, afternoon, whatever the fuck you want to label that. I'm like, they're not open? And I look at the door, and he's got his hours on the door. Monday, 1 to 6. All right? Tuesday, 11 to 2. Wednesday, 10 to 1. Friday, off on Thursdays. Friday, midnight to 4 a.m. Just something ridiculous. And I'm like, how the hell does a company maintain business hours so random like that? And the only thing I can think of is and I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. In my mind, in a perfect world, this is what actually happens. He's sitting there. He knows when the markets are opening, or he's got a buddy out there physically bringing him fresh fish. Now, that's not unheard of, because I know growing up as a kid, my grandfather, my dad's dad, we go fishing all day on Playa Linda Beach. When we lived in Florida, my grandfather lived in Titusville. We go fishing all day on Playa Linda Beach. Playa Linda Beach is the beach right next to where the shuttle takes on and off. So that nice warm water, all that stuff that goes on over there, is game for big game fish. And we'd fish all day, and we were done. We'd drive it back into Titusville town. He would knock on the door of this shack, this fish market shack. The guy would open up. He'd pay my grandfather cash, and he'd take all his fish that he bought him fish so he could have it the next day. The vendor. So it's not unheard of for these people to physically buy and do whatever. But I was just kind of like, oh man, I'm here. I got money. I want to go. I want to buy it. But oh well. I got to start marking these off. My dad does the dishes in the house. When I say does the dishes, he loads the dishwasher, runs it, and then empties it, which is great. The problem that I'm having, I might have said this before, the problem that I'm having is he does power wash no matter what's in there. Could be 3 spoons. It could be completely loaded from us, cooking dinner and stuff over the weekend. When he runs it on, the power wash, double high density sanitize, and then double high density dry, that thing runs for 3.5 hours. Now, I was a big skeptic many years ago when my wife told me that she would do laundry at night because the electricity's cheaper. And I said, well, how can that be? How can the electricity, how does the electric company know when you're doing laundry at night compared to doing it in the middle of the day? Now, I've known my wife for 19 years now, so this was my, mid-30s. She's 6 years younger than I am. Mid-30s, and now I just heard, believe it or not, an article where they were talking about, saving money for the holidays and stuff, and they actually repeated that same thing where if you run your like dishwasher and stuff at night, it's cheaper. So I said, Dad, wake up. Who are you? It's Trav, Dad. It's Trav. How'd I get in your house? I said, we're going to try something new this year because our power bill has gone up significantly since my dad has moved in. Now, my dad does contribute to the house and stuff, but unfortunately, his medication and stuff, this time of year, he's got, the radiator heaters, the oil heaters in his room. He's got one in his bathroom. He's got everywhere he's got some kind of space heater because I'm not running the heater for the whole entire house. It does run off propane, but the emergency is, the 220 electric. I'm not running the heat. I will keep it nice. It's not like an igloo in there. But I do keep it around like 65 degrees. It's so cold out here. Go back in your room, Dad. So, and he turns it on like middle of September. It's so cold in the house. Dad, it's 65 outside or 85 outside. It's so cold. So we're running the dishwasher at night. We're going to see next, this full cycle. We just started the other day. We're going to see the full cycle. Hopefully, maybe the power bill, that'll never drop. It'll never drop unless we just turn the power off altogether, right? Let's see. I went to go. Oh, I don't want to know if I tell this story. Should I tell this story? I might as well. It's already out of the bag, right? So I went to go pick. This is so embarrassing. And we have new listeners too. And when I say new listeners, one of the, I don't know if she listens to the actual show or not, but on my 4-mile run, out of the 6 houses that are on there, one of the people out of those 6 houses friended me on Facebook. Like my personal page, not the This Is 50 Facebook page. We have, every podcast has got their own page, but I repost the posting on my personal page saying, hey, here's a new episode, blah, blah, blah. But This Is 50 has their own Facebook page, so please follow us over there. There's not a whole lot of people over there because a lot of people, it's still fresh and new, but still. So she started following me on Facebook. This is the wife of, the wife of a husband that lives on the house or lives on the street there. So I'm going to tell the story. I'm going to get some looks when I go running this week. The story I'm going to tell you can only happen to me. So I went to go get hay. To go get hay, I've said this before, it's 45 minutes one way, it's 45 minutes back, so it's an hour and a half round trip. The store that we go to is a feed store, And they were there before the town became a town of Waxhaw. So it's kind of a rustic building. It's old. Meanwhile, you've got, houses that are, easily $800, to $1 million around surrounding the area. So in the middle of all this, you've got this feed store. Wooden floors, pole. It's a pole building, a little bit of insulation, yada, yada, yada. So I go down there to get hay for the horses. And like I said, it's a 45-minute ride. And this day, my stomach, because of my new diet and everything, I say my new diet, since I've changed my diet, where I eat, not raw chicken, Jesus Christ, Trav. I eat, air-fried chicken breasts and bean sprouts or broccoli or something like that at night. Well, bean sprouts or Brussels sprouts and broccoli at night doesn't mesh well at 11:30 in the afternoon. So I'm driving there and I hear, whoa. I'm like, ooh. That's a warning sign. Oh, my stomach's making all the noise. So I get there and I go, hey. They're like, hey, Travis, let me get 12 bales of hay. I need some chicken food and I need a couple shavings. All right, if you just want to pull around and my stomach goes, ew. You just want to pull around to the trailers in the back. We'll have Tommy get it all set for you. And I go, can you use your restroom real quick? Yeah, sure. Now I go in the restroom, and it's, like I said, this is a small pole building where they've tried to make do or tried to do the best they can. So it's not this, it's not like walking into like a fancy bathroom. You can see like the supply lines where they've added and added and added and clipped and added and clipped, and they've broken the tile to, drain this out. You can tell they've had plumbing problems before. Here I come, right? Get ready for more plumbing problems. And I'm in the bathroom. There's only 3 people that work in this feed store. You have the lady who owns it. She's sitting at the counter. Older, a little older than I am. She's probably 62, 63 years old. She's sitting there at the counter, which is probably, 30 feet from the bathroom door. Then she's got either some granddaughter, daughter, another girl at the front desk that takes the orders, and then one of the grandsons or something is the one that unloads the trailers or throws the hay in the back of your truck when you pull up. So it's kind of a family thing. So I'm in there for a little bit. I'm like, oh, God. There's a joke that I use when I go to any public restroom. I'm not afraid to do number 2 in anywhere. I'm not afraid. But when you're in like Lowe's and there's like 18 stalls and you hear some guy completely Budweiser blowing it out, I always say, hey, man, we've all been in jail before. You got to flush that shit, Don't let it just sit in the bowl. Flush that shit so it don't stink up the area. Because when you're in jail, not that I've been in jail, well, I have once. I'm not going to get into that story right now. You're in a room with 25 people, and you got the 2 silver toilets. You've seen jail, right? In the movies. You sit there and shit, and there's nothing like beating on one of those Jamaican drums when you're shitting in jail, because it's a metal container. You have to hit that button. You're just hitting that button. Flush, flush, flush. You shit, flush, shit, flush, shit, flush, shit, flush. Because you don't want to be the guy in your bunk there that's shitting up the place. So I'm sitting there in the bathroom, flushing. Another movement, flush. No, I know. I told everyone's gonna look at me weird. Flush, another movement, flush. To keep the noise down. I'm going to keep the noise down. I can hear the kid come back. Hey, where is he? I'm in here. The older lady who does the ordering stuff goes, he's in the restroom. He'll be right out. Go ahead and get everything lined up for him. He'll bring it around. So here I am, wrecking commodes. I come out. Because when a guy goes in the bathroom, he's usually out within, 3 minutes, 2 minutes? All right, you know what he did. All right, peed, didn't wash his hands, and he's out, right? When a girl goes in there, it could be either or. She could be because you got to sit to do both, right? Unless you're one of those, But when a guy's in there for like 10 minutes, everyone knows exactly what he's doing. So I come out and I kind of head down. I'm like going, all right, thank you, ladies. I'll get in my truck. And as soon as I walked out of there, they both looked at each other and go, okay, grab a candle. Go grab a candle real quick. I'm not going in there. Well, we'll wait for a little bit. Tommy, take this candle in there when you're done loading that guy up. Stinky ass. So there you go. Where are we on time? Am I doing good? Yeah, we can do, I'll do one more little segment and then I'll tell you what made me upset. Not upset, just kind of like, am I in the right dentist office when we come back? So stick around, I'll be right back. My wife and I are going on our European trip, European vacation. We're going to celebrate 11 years together. This year, we are going to, we're going to London. We're going to, where are we going? Amsterdam, and we're going to Paris. Those three. We're going to be gone for like 14 days. 13 days of actual tourism, 14 days with flights and everything. But I've been running. Like I said, the reason why I started running, give you a little background so you don't have to, well, I want you to go listen to the past shows. Of course I do. But just give you a little background, a little catch up, a little PowerPoint. On our 10th anniversary, we went to Vancouver for 3 days, and then we did an Alaska cruise where the port is in Vancouver. So we jumped on the boat, 8 days up and down, port 1, port 2. I think we went to 4 different ports. I don't know. But I knew there was going to be a lot of walking, a lot of activity. And as you can see, me sitting here in front of the camera, if you're watching this on the YouTube channel at This Is 50 Show, this is basically the extent of my daily activity. This and then this, right? Are you with me? And how? So I didn't want to let my wife down. I don't know why that was hard to come out. I didn't want to let my wife down, so I started walking. Fast forward to now, I just always stayed with it. Now I'm running. So what took me an hour and 20 minutes to walk 4 miles has now taken me 49 minutes to walk/run/jog. In the process, of course, I've lost a little bit of weight. Changed my diet a little bit, changed the way I look at calories a little bit different. What I'm bringing in, what I'm bringing out. I'm getting older. I'm 52. Next month, I'll be 53, January 6th. Has nothing to do with the political stuff, but yes, I was born on January 6th. And I was thinking to myself, as I'm playing all the stuff in my mind, as far as my wife's like, do you want to sit in first class? Do you want to, premium economy? All this stuff. It's going to be a 9-hour flight, blah, blah, blah. And I was thinking as I was running, I was like going, you know what? If I keep running, from now to March 12th, I think we're leaving. So that's a solid 3 months away. Even if I drop another 8 pounds, maybe, 10 pounds, I have no goal. I honestly have no goal, and I think that's the best way to exercise. A goal would be, I feel good at the end of the day, and I know I've done what I'm supposed to do. You can have your own goals if you want. Those are mine. I'm sitting there, and I told my wife, I said, you know what? If I lose another 8 or 10 pounds, not on purpose, but just because of the nature of what I'm doing, I think I'm going to sit real fine in those chairs, because my wife always is worried about me sitting in the chairs when we fly to New York, when we fly to Florida, anytime we are on a flight anywhere. She worries about me because, yes, at one time I was a lot larger. I know I was a lot larger. Plus my back, my crushed vertebrae that I have in my back. If I sit too long and I'm not uncomfortable and I'm too big for the seat and I'm hunching over and half of my body's leaning into another chair and stuff, I think I'm going to enjoy the flight, the 9-hour flight, like I'm sitting in first class. Because, of course, I'm a little bit smaller and a little bit, more flexible. And I'm not carrying around, a small child on the front of me. So I told my wife that. She goes, yeah, well, stay with it, fat ass. I go, thanks, babe. Thanks. So it was like a positive thing that popped in my head. Now, after my runs, I come in the house and I make something to eat. Something small, something simple. It's always cottage cheese, some kind of protein, whether it be egg or some kind of like a chicken breast left over from the night before. And I do a half a baked potato. When I say a half a baked potato, if you ever seen a jumbo baked potato, they're fucking huge. If you're watching this here on the YouTube channel, fucking huge like this. I cut one in half, put some hot sauce on it. I don't do any sour cream. I don't do any of that stuff. It's just hot sauce, which has absolutely no calories. Yeah, there's a lot of sodium in there, dummy. I know. Fuck you. What do you want me to do? You want me to eat the fat or you want me to eat the sodium? You're going to die of a heart attack. You're going to die of a poke in the face. And that's my breakfast. And as I'm sitting there in the chair and I'm watching American Dad, yes, I do. I watch that. Right here, my lower, I don't want to stand up here in front of the camera, but my lower left side, even with my navel, where if I was to have a six-pack, not on the table here, on my belly, my torso, no, it's my torso is higher up. It's twitching. And I'm massaging it. And while I'm sitting in the chair watching American Dad after eating my baked potato, cottage cheese, and protein, I always do leg lifts. Just however long the episode is, do 10 and stop and 10 and stop and 10 and stop and 10 and stop and kind of at my leisure. If you're going to sit here and watch TV and veg out, you might as well try to do some crunches or something. But it's like vibrating, like a muscle spasm. And it's shaped like an L. So, here's the camera. Perfect, right here. It's like here and then here. I'm not going to lift my shirt up, ladies. Sorry. So I look online. Don't do that. Don't ever do that. If you've got any kind of ailments in your body or something, and you look online, you want to have yourself a heart attack, it says it could be several things. All right. Number 1, general muscle spasm due to excessive exercise. Okay, I could see that. Yeah, I could see that. 2, dehydration related to consumption of alcohol. Okay, I could see that. Yep, I could see that. From the night before. Yeah, sure. That I get to happen. 3, could be an embolism next to your whatever that's getting ready to explode. You need to seek immediate help right away. We'll just play that one out. Let's see if it happens tomorrow. And I know that a muscle spasm, just from years of playing basketball, and I told you, being on the practice team for the Orlando Magic, if you had a muscle that ached or did that, you always ate a banana, ate something, you were lacking something, your muscle's doing something funny. I would sit there and punch it. Like if I had like a spasm in my calf, I'd sit there and just kind of punch it a little bit and massage it and get some blood going down it. You punch it, bruise it a little bit. It's kind of like doing the cupping on your back. If you bruise a little bit, the muscle will go down there, or the blood will go down to the muscle and say, hey, you guys figure this out, because we're not playing this game. It's like a bouncer coming down there. So I kind of punch on it a little bit while I'm sitting there watching American Dad. My wife comes in, what are you doing? I'm like, trying to get this muscle spasm to fucking stop. He's like, what muscle spasm? I'm like, never mind. It's a long story. When we come back, my wife talked me into going to this dentist. She said she liked him. Like, he was good. She felt comfortable with him. She's like, you don't need to drive an hour to the one in Charlotte. I'm like, but I like him. And everyone there's so pretty. It's like the glamorous, the beautiful people dentist office. If you walk in there, it's like bang, bang, Maxwell Silver Hammer. And everyone's like, perfect and happy, and everyone's doing their job, and everyone's got Botox, and everyone's great, and everyone's blonde and beautiful, and blue eyes and green eyes and perfect skin and all that stuff. And then this dentist, oh God, I hope he doesn't listen to this show. I hope our new neighbor friends don't tell him. And this is like my third time going to him, so I'll dive into the conflict that I'm having in my head with going to this guy. So stick around. I'll be right back. One of the things that I like about the What's Up Marshville page, I think every town's got one, you know. What's up Charlotte? What's up Orlando? What's up whatever? And, you know, people post on there, especially in this area, that if they offer a service, for example. You see landscapers, hey, you know, I've got a couple openings this month, you know, if you need your, you know, lawn done or hedges trimmed or something like that, and people reach out and I need new windows put in, you know, anyone who's got, you know, handyman service, and people always ask questions on there. It's kind of like a swap shop type back page thing. Back page is different. Sorry, I didn't mean to use back page is for hookers. Not that we have a lot of hookers here, or do we? I don't know. There's this one guy I see all the time that posts on the What's Up Marshville Facebook page saying, hey, I've got some free time, you know, the next day or two, I can offer my small machine mechanical work, repair, that type stuff in your area, Marshville area. See it a couple times. And I got to thinking, I was like, oh, you know what? My lawnmower, I've got a zero-turn lawnmower, and my side-by-side needs the oil change. Now, for me to do that, physically to do that, I have to, because I take to the dealership. I'm not fucking doing it myself. I've got to load up the trailer. I got to put them on the trailer. I got to drive over there, dealership for either one or in two different directions, drop it off. I'm out of a fucking whatever machine that I drop off for like 4 or 5 days. And then I got to go pick it back up and bring it back home. And, you know, all it's a pain in the ass. I complain about not being able to leave the property, but yet I'm complaining about leaving the property. No, it's just a hassle. And so I reach out to this guy and I say, hey, you know, I've got this and I've got this. I've got a side-by-side and I've got a zero-turn lawnmower, 52-inch zero-turn Bobcat lawnmower. I said, can you come over and just oil and filter? That's all I want. Well, where do you live at? I'm like, I'm in fucking Marshville. What's up Marshville page? I'm in fucking Marshville. Well, what's a intersection? I'm like, well, you know, 205 and Olive Branch Road. That's where I'm at. I'm like, I could throw a rock, if I could throw a rock that far, and hit the intersection. Well, it's kind of out of my range. What the fuck are you talking about out of your range? On the Marshville itself is 3 square miles. Might be 4 square miles. But still, you put it on our Facebook page and I say, hey, I got some work for you to be done. No, it'll be $140, but I need the model and stuff. And that doesn't include the oil itself, the materials. Fine, I will buy them. I said, here's what I have and here's what I have. Well, I need the serial, the VIN numbers, those serial numbers, so I make sure I get the right ones. I'm not giving you my goddamn, look, ass fuck. You say you're a small engine repairman. I'm giving you an opportunity. Oh, I don't normally do oil changes. Then what the fuck are you here for? Sorry, I'm getting a little hot. But this is the area that we live in. Oh no, I really, all right, 140, but you got to buy the oil and give me your address. I said, fuck you. Fuck you. I'll do it myself. God damn it. Why is the machine on fire? I don't know, babe. I was changing the oil. Do you not know how to change the oil? Obviously not. If the machine's on fire, that's not supposed to happen. You should have called someone. I tried to. God damn it. I tried to. He doesn't want to come this far. So my dentist, that's an hour and a half away. I know he gets further and further away, right? The dentist that I had when we were living in Charlotte, and the only reason why we lived in Charlotte when we first moved up here from Orlando to North Carolina, is because we were trying to get our house off the books. We had to prove like a year of rental on the one house that we just left. That way we can prove income, and then we can go buy whatever house we want. We not be taxed or, you know, financially be strapped. So we found a great dentist, and I needed work done. I need a lot of work done. I just never had the time, never the patience, or the correct insurance, and yada, yada, yada. So for the first year and a half that we lived in Charlotte, I had all my fillings done. I had everything's done. And then we moved out here to Marshville, and I kept continuing to go to this dentist that's in Charlotte. When I say Charlotte, Cornelius. No one knows what Cornelius is. Everyone knows what Charlotte is. So there you go. I had a bridge put in from something as a childhood growing up. I had some bad teeth. My mom she tried to take care of them, but she was too busy. She's like, you'll be fine, kid. You just don't smile in pictures. All right, my wife says, no, you got a beautiful smile. I want to see those perfect, beautiful teeth. So we kept going to this dentist. And as the years went on and I got everything done. Everything's done. Now it's just maintenance-wise. Just cleaning, brushing, and that's it. As long as I continue to do that, I shouldn't have any problems in the future. So my wife goes, our dentist, here she goes, here's the selling point. Our dentist over there in Cornelius, the Charlotte area. We get 4 cleanings. She said, I get 2, you get 4. Actually, we get 6 altogether, but I've got the most work done. She wants to make sure that stays on top of it. We spent almost, $15,000 on this beautiful grin right here. If you're watching this on YouTube, hi. I know I got a fang tooth right there. They say that's good luck. So I want you to have the 4 cleanings here. All right, fine, no problem. I understand that. Thank you very much, babe, for thinking of me. She goes, but the cleanings aren't completely free at Dr. White's office. That's the one in Cornelius. I said, well, how much are they? She goes, well, each cleaning is $129, and they only cover 70% of that. I said, you're telling me now? Now? I said, why not? She goes, because they're not really on our plan. They're like our secondary plan or something. I don't know. Whatever she said, I said, all right, fine. I said, find us a dentist around here. Because if it's just maintenance, if it's just, cleanings and things like that, no drilling or anything, I'll be fine. I don't know if the dentist around this area knows what a cavity is. They can pull a tooth. No, I'm kidding. I'm being facetious. But anyways, she's like, there's a dentist that just moved in. And this is 2 years ago. Moved in up the road, built a new building, brand new building and everything for him, I guess. And he's over there. She's like, I'm going to check him out. So she goes and checks him out. She's like, I like him. He's great. She gets her 2 cleanings a year. Everything's good. She's like, I really, really like him. You should go meet him. I said, all right, fine. You know what, babe? Sign me up. So I've been going to him. And like I said, when I walked in there, I was an anomaly to him. You've had this bridge work done and these fillings and all this stuff. She's like, he's like, oh my God, sit down. Here, can I get you anything? Can I rub your shoulders or anything? I'm like, oh no, what am I? It was weird. It was weird. So a year and a half has gone by, and I've gotten my traditional cleanings and stuff, and everything's fine. The funny part was, I get a cleaning every 3 months. The girl always goes, you're doing excellent in your oral hygiene. And I'm like, yeah, right. Yeah, right. I go, look, man, I don't leave the house. I maybe brush my teeth twice a month. I'm kidding. But still, I'm not, brush. But I do take care of them somewhat. When I start feeling like barnacles on them, I'm like, maybe I should do something with them. I know everyone's out there. Ugh. So every 3 months, get my teeth cleaned. And this past time I went in there, I'm like, I'm going to have the same girl. She's real nice. She's Asian. So I don't know. There's not a whole lot of familiarity between me and her. So I see you still have horses? Yep, still have horses. Oh, that must take a lot of work. Yes, it does. Spit. Do they say spit anymore? They just suck it out of your face. So I went in this time, and I sit down, and there's some other girl there. I'm like, all right, well, this is all right, a little change up. Maybe someone's on vacation. All right, it's Christmas time. We're going to do x-rays today because it's been a year, and we want to take x-rays every year. All right, fine, no problem. And it's the cheap x-rays. The one in Cornelius, in Charlotte, You just sat there and the whole machine revolved around your head. And you just sat there and you had a little bite plate, little piece of like Tic Tac that you bit on. Don't move. Okay. Oh. And then you were done. This place has got those fucking placards that stick in your, like a billboard sign that stick in your fucking mouth. When you bite down on it, rips the roof of your mouth off. All right, hold still. Okay. Oh, that one didn't take. Fucking break. She's taking x-rays. All right, the doctor will be in. Doctor. He'll be in a minute. So he comes in. And I've seen him, out of the year and a half, I've seen him 2 times. Just, hey, you doing all right? Are you doing all right? Well, today he goes, I'm going to be doing your teeth cleaning today, or whatever the fancy word for teeth cleaning. Your oral hygienic extract, the demolition, something. I don't know what the fuck he said. I said, okay, cool. This is where it gets interesting. So as he's sitting there, he leans me way the fuck too far back. Because I'm a big guy. I'm a tall guy, and he's a average. He's like 5'7", little skinny waif of a man. He's not a big fat dentist, but. And as he's coming, if you're watching this on the YouTube channel, as he's coming close to me with that laser water pick thing that they do now, you know, I know everyone's, oh, stop. His hand's doing this. His hand's doing this. I'm covering up my face here. And I go, what the fuck is this guy's problem? Is he on a fucking bender? Is he have a Christmas party the night before? His hand's fucking shaking like he's got the fucking DTs. And he's, you know, he does the bottom, inside, bottom, outside, bottom, back around the top, back around the top. And then he starts asking me questions. How long have you had your bridge in? And I give him a story, and he's like, oh, okay. Was this a medical thing? Or, you know, I explain to him what happened and everything. And he goes, I see you got, 11 fillings in your mouth. I'm like, yeah. He goes, that's quite an excessive, a lot of fillings. He's like, even with white fillings, they're really, they look good. They only last about 10 years. When did you get them done? I go, probably about 10 years ago. He goes, no. He's like, they're fine. They're fine. Everything's good. But, with the cleanings and stuff and you doing your excellent dental hygiene care, sometimes, the fillings don't last that long. I'm like, really? They don't last that long? Fucking $15,000. They better last a goddamn lifetime. He's like, yeah, because of the way that the mold leans up against the tooth, sometimes there's that edge there, that small imperfection in between the filling and the tooth that sometimes gets all gummed up and clumpy and stuff. He goes, yours are perfectly fine. He goes, you're doing excellent care on your dental hygiene. I'm like, yeah, right. I might brush once every other day or something like that. But I do drink a lot of liquids, a lot of acidic liquids. Let's put it that way. Maybe that's helped me out. Maybe that's the solution. Maybe that's what they should do. So then he starts talking about my bridge and everything. And then when we were all done, he goes, okay, well, that'll be it. And sees you later. I'm thinking to myself, well, hold on a minute. I think I'm missing something. Because you heard me. He did the on the bottom inside and the bottom outside. He did around the top and where my bridge is. And then that's it. There was no scraping. There was no diving in there and doing, all the way from, tooth to tooth, to gum, the tooth to tooth, all the way around the front and all the way around like a normal cleaning. And then the part that did not happen was the one that everyone wants. That's the one I want. Because when you walk out of there, you feel so clean, so fresh, is when they take that fucking rubber and they put the pumice, because it's got sand or something in it, and they polish your teeth. Okay, we'll see you in next year. Happy Christmas and stuff. Oh, by the way, I hear you're from Orlando. Do you know where I can get tickets for my 10-year-old to go to the theme parks? And I'm sitting there, I'm like going, are we done with this? And I'm looking up at him. Blood's rushing to my fucking head. I don't know if that was the plan. Yeah, September's the best time because of, there's no one that's slow season. Okay, we're going to sit you up and Monica here will take you to the front desk and you're good to go. And I'm like, I can still taste like, If you brush your teeth and a little bit of blood, I said, I got gypped. Gypped. This is the dentist I'm going to now. He's fucking phoning it in. He's half-assing it. He just wanted to get fucking tickets out of me. This guy's from Orlando? I'm going on vacation to Orlando. So I heard you're from Orlando. What's the best time of year? And do you think you got relatives down? Oh, really? So I can call them at 8. All right, I'll give your aunt a call and your cousins and let them know I'm calling. All right, well, everything looks good. See you next year. Because it's a big joke of changing of the year. So that's it. That's what happened. My other dentist, I would have had the nice, pretty dentist or the hygiene guy or lady. Either one. Doesn't matter. Give me someone pretty over there. All right, guys. I appreciate you listening to me work all this stuff out. I'll talk to you later. See you. Bye. See you.